50, 45. There goes Davis.
Oh, my God.
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome on in, everyone, to a brand new edition of the Dream Wage, episode 438. And today is a throwback episode if I've ever seen one. Joining us from the beautiful state of South Carolina, the legend Joey D from Axe Cake Picks. Joe, how are you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. It's been a while. I missed you boys. Yeah, so yeah, an homage to the olden days. So
Boy, I love
Yeah.
it. Elvis, how you doing, kid?
I'm good, man. I'm just shocked right now. Isaiah Likely just scored a crazy touchdown.
Holy
I'm a little
shit.
thrown
Coastal
off.
Carolina.
Let's
So I was just a
go.
little like, holy shit, that just happened. It was like a broken down play. Even it was a little weird throw from Lamar, but overall, thankful for Joey being back for week one to kick it off. And right now, the Ravens and Chiefs game is looking like it's gonna come down to the wire. So that's
Oh
good.
my God, what a game right now. We're
Yeah.
recording this just started the fourth quarter. They just scored. It is 17-20. The Ravens are down 3 with the whole fourth quarter just started. Holy shit. I needed that, kid. What a play. So far so good though, right? It's good to have football back. Thoughts so far, seems like the refs have it out for the Ravens. I'll say that.
I wouldn't say the refs have it out for the Ravens, but they're calling a call that we all wanted them to either start calling, because we saw it in the Super Bowl with the Chiefs. Still, we during the game we was like, the Chiefs are getting away with that. And look, I like the fact that they started off hot with it. The left tackle, 79. I already forgot his name.
Ronnie Stanley.
He got called 4 or 5 times already just in the first half. So definitely make some adjustments there. The only critique I can honestly say from the Ravens is offensively. I don't like the fact that until now, like literally late third quarter, he wasn't really throwing the ball down the field with Lamar Jackson. Dude just came off a fresh MVP. Why are you now trying to force the ball down the field just a little bit? You got healthy wide receivers. I understand you got your new toy, Derrick Henry, but Lamar Jackson's 2-time MVP. Let him throw the ball down the field.
Joe, my question to you is now Elvis brought it down. The bad offensive line, before the fourth quarter, his average throw was 1 yard. That means they don't even trust their offensive line. They need to get the ball out quick. You seeing a lot from Lamar. He's kind of carrying the team.
Yeah, carrying the team. It's pretty seems wearing on him, honestly. You see as the game's progressing, he's doing everything and just and pulling it down and just running, try to get these first downs, because he's getting no productivity from the offense. So I'm hoping for that. We're getting that second half comeback, man.
Yeah.
I have them on the money line. You boys had them +3. You took the points in your pocket.
Yeah, we took the +3. I also laid them on the money line as well. Elvis, you were on the money line or just the +3?
I just took the +3 with 2 player props. I didn't want to go too crazy.
No, I went a little crazy. 14 bets, 14 prop bets here on week one, but we are locked and loaded. On the other side, though, with the Chiefs, Patty Mahomes doing well, doing Patty Mahomes things. Isaiah Pacheco, he's doing well. You got the new guy, Xavier Worthy. Man, is he fucking fast. Joe, what have you seen? Rasheed Rice really developed into that number one receiver.
It's not fair that they're getting another 4-3 receiver, but honestly, domination on the line of scrimmage. Yeah, 2 of them, bro.
Yeah.
But domination on the line of scrimmage, both offense and defense right now.
100%. And bro, I mean, you control the line of scrimmage, you control the trenches, you will win the game. And they're kind of bringing the Ravens kind of football toughness, what you expect from a Baltimore Ravens team. So amazing. Before we get into our plays for week one, Joe, do you have anything for the Eagles and the Packers?
Oh man, I was it's tough. A Friday night game in Brazil. It's so weird, dude. I think you just got to take the points, man. You got to take them in your back pocket like you did with the Ravens. Thursday night games, I mean, if we ever get down the line, I mean, we will. In Saturday night games, I think they're going to be closely contested. Any awkward staged games, I think, are going to trip up the players. It's not right for their rest, the way they practice. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. So I'll take the points.
Yeah, I think I'm on the points as well. I was able to get +3 a few days ago. I just expect Philly to start out a little slow. I think Jalen Hurts will regress just a little bit. And Elvis, what are you on here for Friday night, real quick?
Yeah, real quick, I'm on the Philadelphia Eagles money line. I caught it at -120. And then I have two player props as well. I got Christian Watson over 38.5. The kid is healthy. This number is just too low. Like I said, with Isaiah Pacheco went over today, he could just make this go over in just one catch. One reception, he will go over his total. So
Wheels.
Christian Watson over 38.5 is too low. Give me that over. And then give me Devontae Smith over 59.5. Like I said, I think Jair Alexander is gonna have his, him and AJ Brown are gonna battle, and I think that those two is gonna, battle each other out. And I think AJ Brown, I'm not gonna say he's gonna have a rough night, but I expect Devontae Smith just to put up numbers because him and Alexander are gonna be battling. So I think 59.5 just for the matchup for Friday night. I think Devontae Smith is gonna be be able to win his matchup a little more often. That's all.
Yeah, should be very interesting. I'm excited to see what kind of football looks like down in Brazil as well. I know that everyone was concerned about the safety aspect of it, but we'll see. It's definitely going to be a sight for sore eyes, I think. But let's get into it. Week 1, we will start in Soldier Field. Bears taking on the Tennessee Titans. Right now, Tennessee 3.5-point underdogs going into Soldier Field. Bears laying -185 on the money line. Comeback is +166. Over unders at 44.5. Joe, I will start with you. They surround Caleb Williams with a bunch of talent on the offensive side. Second half of the season last year, we saw the Bears defense really come to floor. What are you seeing? How are you going to play this game?
Yeah, they flourished, in the second half there. And so you see a more evolved and probably with the arrival of Caleb Williams, I think he just gave everybody confidence. So I'm also confident in this bet. I'm going alternate spread on the Bears at -5.5. I think they'll get the 6 points. I think at +105, you can't lose here because I think they're going to start the season strong. And, they may have some hiccups and some growing pains, but I do like the offense, and the defense is no slouch. So, yeah, I like the Bears in this spot.
I feel like a lot of people are on Tennessee here, Elvis. Another guy where they surrounded second-year guy Will Levis with a lot of talent. I'm not the biggest Will Levis guy, but I do think he could have a really big sophomore year. How are you playing this game?
Yeah, I took it early on. I took Tennessee plus the 4.5. I feel like the 4.5 is just too big. Don't get me wrong. I expect Caleb Williams, Chicago Bears, to have, a good season, But, week 1, first game of his career, I just don't expect too much for the kid. It wouldn't shock me if he has a poor week 1. He's a rookie quarterback, So I'm not going out there and expecting the kid to win a lay 5 on his first career game. Even to win this game by more than a field goal, I think the Bears are going to be solid this season. But I think Tennessee is going to be a little better than anybody anticipates. So give me Tennessee plus 4.5. And for the people listening now, I honestly will take the 3.5 as well.
Do they have any controversy at coach? Like, didn't Mike Vrabel get fired?
Yeah,
for the Titans.
He got fired, and they got a new head coach. And honestly, I like the kid. He was the offensive coordinator for
Brian Callahan.
All right.
Yeah,
I think that's the motivating factor for me. That's what I'm looking at a little bit. I just thought to bring it up to you, my bro.
Yeah, and Brian Callahan did a lot of 3 wide receiver sets, and that's exactly what they're going to do in Tennessee. That's why I think it's a big year for Will Levis.
Wide receiver core, you got D-Hop, Calvin Ridley, and Tyler Boyd. Pretty solid.
Yeah. And you bring in Tony Pollard as well. He could catch it out of the backfield. That's why I took the over. I took over 43.5. I could see a shootout. Yeah.
I think it's smart. Taking points, I think it's smart.
And then
how about any player props?
Yeah, I was gonna go right there. I'm feeling this one just because I feel like this number is too low. Give me DeAndre Swift over 44.5 points. I understand you got Caleb Williams, first overall pick. We know the ceiling for him. We know his expectations. He's gonna be a great quarterback possibly. But
yeah, I like DeAndre Swift.
DeAndre Swift 44.5 rushing yards. People, this number is just too low. The rookie quarterback, you gotta rely on the running game. That's what you're gonna do. Rely on the running game 1 at home. Let DeAndre Swift carry this offense and let Caleb play action off that. I think 44.5 yards is just too low.
I love it. Let's go down to the ATL. Atlanta Falcons hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Falcons laying 3.5 at home, -184 on the money line, plus 3.5 for the Steelers, plus 154. Over unders at 42. Now there was a report, Russ, a little banged up now. He will probably play. He'll start week 1. Any worries before? And are you taking the Steelers? I know you're high on them.
Still, I had the +3. I love me a hook now. I love me a hook. I just took the +3.5 -114. I'm trying to tell you, Dill. Don't get me wrong. Atlanta, I see the potential, Dill. I'm not mad at you. For anybody who's really high, I like the Atlanta Falcons. But I think Pittsburgh either win or lose this game by 3. That defense is healthy. They're going to be firing. Say what you want about Russ. Anybody out there, get your opinions off on Russ. Russ is better than what they had last year. The Steelers was a playoff team last year with Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph. Russ is better than that. Justin Fields is better than that. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers +3.5.
Man, I love that play, dude. I'm like, kicking myself for having the Falcons money line, but dude, I love that, Elvis, bro. Everything you just got me fired up, bro. I'm ready to run through a wall.
Are you taking the Falcons, Joe? I mean, they bring in Kirk Cousins. He is coming off a very tough injury. You know, you got Kyle. You surrounded another guy with all this talent. Drake London's supposed to be the real thing. Kyle Pitts. What are you doing here in this game?
Yeah, I do have the Falcons money line. I mean, Kirk Cousins got to make a statement here to secure. I mean, you look at it, he's got pressure with Michael Penix waiting in the wings. And I know he's maybe young and a little more development needed, but I do think that the onus is on Kirk Cousins to perform well for the franchise. You know, Arthur Blank, he wants a lot out of the the Falcons. And, a lot of money invested into stadium, one of the most beautiful stadiums. And I'm trying to go check it out. I think it'd be a great watch, who they're playing, just to go see, one of the sites down there. So I got to go with the Falcons at home. It could be a high-scoring affair, understandably so, unless the Steelers defense shows up. If the Steelers defense shows up, it's a Mike Tomlin-led team at the end of the day, and they win. And that's why I like what Elvis said, man. You could see this team easily going above 500 and maybe win some more, as they were with Kenny Pickett.
I'm sorry to be the destroyer of dreams, but I love the Falcons. It might be one of my best my favorite plays for the weekend. I think they're going to destroy the Pittsburgh Steelers. I feel Elvis. I feel him. And I understand it's Mike Tomlin and everything, but you haven't won a playoff game since when? 2016, 2017? Like, come on.
When did Atlanta win a playoff game?
It doesn't matter. I mean, Kirk Cousins has been good. He's better than Russ. He's better than Russ. I think top to bottom, that team is loaded. You bring in Matthew Judon. You got a lot of pieces on that defense. I mean, no one on the offense of Pittsburgh scares me. Did they scare any of you?
George Pickens?
Pickens, yeah.
Come on, Dill. Come on, man. Give
me the Falcons. I love them. Let's go to the next game. Down in Miami, they are laying just 3.5. I love this game too, by the way. -172 on the money line. Jacksonville, Duval County, +3.5, +154 on the money line. Over under is at 49. Joe, I'll start with you.
Okay.
You are the Southern guy.
Yeah.
They go and they pay Trevor Lawrence, deservingly so.
Clemson
I don't know. It is up
for rate. It's the going rate.
And I'll say this: if Dougie P doesn't win this year, make the playoffs, I think the seat's getting hotter. What are we doing here?
It might already be hot, but I gotta take the points. The Jags, they don't have to travel far. I think they're going to be very competitive. I think it's going to be a humid Sunday ball, just muggy. It's still going to be summer weather, so I think this is going to be a closely contested. I think it could be high scoring, maybe at the middle part. So give me the +3.5. I saw. It's at -115. Not a little better than some of the odds you can get, but I do have a player prop. I got to go with Jalen Waddle. I got high expectations for him. Everyone's going to be targeted on, Tyreek Hill, and he could blow the cover off even if they double cover him. It doesn't matter. It's Tyreek Hill. But Jalen Waddle under, we're going to see maybe a Waddle. Like I said, first touchdown scorer is +1100. I like that player prop. And then anytime touchdown, just throw it in, because if he scores that, he'll score this, and that's +320.
Real quick, E, before we get to you, what I forgot to mention it. What are your thoughts on this new kickoff rule? Because what I was told and what we've seen is, there's going to be more returns. They haven't been at all. There have been actually less returns, if anything. What are your thoughts on this? And then we'll get to the game. But I just saw the Ravens not return another kickoff.
Well, you do have, arguably one of the two best kickers is all the football.
Don't disrespect Justin
Tucker and Butler, who's got strong legs still. So maybe all the other kickers can't consistently kick it as deep as they can. So I feel like we're going to see more returns
Fair.
come Sunday than we've seen today from arguably
So
two
no
top 3 kickers.
overreaction in the first game.
Nah. I just
We'll
feel like
see.
these two, you got the two of the strongest legs in all of football. So.
Okay, that's fair. All right, how about this game? Because Mike McDonald, he got a extension as well. But let's be honest, I don't think if they don't start winning in the playoffs, his seat might get a little hot. You need to start beating teams above 500 and beat teams in the cold. Tua as well. He got paid as well. What are we doing here?
Hot Tua.
I love your statement because honestly, it's true. For anybody out there listening, that's a true statement. You can't deny it. Till they win in the cold come playoff time, it is what it is. But guess what, they're in Miami. It's going to be about 90 plus. I understand Jacksonville's in town, but this Miami team, man, I like them. I like them a lot. Give me Miami -3, -3.5, whatever is at now. Got the 3 earlier. Like you said, Mike McDaniel's got that contract. That defense of Miami is finally healthy, Dill. Got Xavier Howard, Jalen Ramsey. You could make a case that's one of the best corners in all of football as a team collectively. That secondary is going to be real. That front line is going to be healthy. They're going to finally be able to put pressure on the quarterback. I just feel like Trevor Lawrence in that offense might, just be rattled a little bit just because that defense is healthy. And I think he's going to play at a higher level definitely than it was last year. And then my one player prop is going to be Travis Etienne over 58.5 rushing yards. One thing with Etienne, he starts the season strong. He ends it a little walky, but he starts strong. I expect not just a big game for Travis Etienne in week 1, but to start the season big as well. So look at his props for the next 4 to 5 weeks.
Love it. I'm on the Dolphins as well. I'm going to lay the points. I think they win big here. I just think in a shootout type of game, I don't think they have the offense. I really don't trust Trevor Lawrence. And I think secondarily for the Dolphins, they have a great back half. I love Jalen Ramsey. I love that secondary. I think they will put some pressure and force some turnovers there for the Jaguars. So I agree. I am on the Dolphins as well as you, E. Only player prop for me, David Kane, over 21.5 receiving yards. Kind of like the Isaiah Pacheco angle for you, Elvis, here on Thursday night. Kind of wide receiver screen type of plays. But the way I think Mike McDaniel is going to be able to get David Kane involved into this scheme, I think we're going to see big things from him in week 1. So over 21.5 yards seemed a little low. So I am going to take that -120. Let's go on over to Cincinnati. The Bengals are hosting the New England Patriots. The lines moved all over. It started 9.5, come down because of the news of Jamar Chase. He is playing, didn't get the contract, but he is playing. It's up to 8.5 now, plus 8.5 for the Patriots, plus 350. Over unders at 40.5. Elvis, you are the Patriot fan. I will start with you. How are we feeling going into Cincinnati? Nervous? What's going on?
Realistically, I don't have too many expectations for the Patriots team, so I'm not going to go too into it. I'll lean the plus 8.5. I love the 9.5. Don't get me wrong. Can we lose by 10? Yeah. I think Cincinnati are live, to possibly make the Super Bowl again. I think it's definitely worth a sprinkle for Joe Burrow to, win MVP deal. But as a Patriots fan, I know this season is going to be tough. And I know that. So I think my best way to play this game is just to stay away. Just stay away. Head over heart. So I'm going to just stay away, Dale. I hope the Patriots somewhat go to Drake May sooner than later and not let Jacoby start, for let's just say 8-10 weeks. But I'm going to just stay away from this game. But I do lean the plus 8.5.
Joe, now he gets his receiver number 1, Jamar Chase, for week 1. T. Higgins is also playing. They lose Joe Mixon in the offseason. What are your expectations for this Bengal team, and what do you see for this game?
They gave Jamar Chase the contract, did they not?
No, they didn't give him it. He's still under 1 year.
They're going to give him something. They just didn't give him what he wants.
I thought he got it back. I mean, don't be surprised if an announcement gets made in the coming days. Can't one be made?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, I honestly expect one actually to be made for him. So I mean, Jamar Chase has some cleats and shoes dropping. If you haven't known that, I mean, I do expect big things from that connection there. And the Bengals are going to be competitive. The AFC North, we see the Ravens tonight. The Browns, I think, are going to be a sneaky team, and the Steelers, as we know, could still be a 500 team. So I am going to go something for you, my boy Elvis. I think we're doubting that the Patriots can get over their total. Right here, it's at 15.5. I mean, you got to be fooled if you think that they're not going to get at least 2 touchdowns and a field goal, or they can get a touchdown and 3 field goals and still hit the over. So I like the over 15.5 at minus 115. It's worth it. I think it's like free money, to be honest. I think the Mario Douglas could get some receptions in. Drake May starting for them. He could run the ball in for a touchdown. So
not Jacoby starting, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Jacoby
still could happen.
Yeah,
I apologize. Yeah, I thought that Drake May actually won the job. I don't know what I should have. Yeah, really? You think? I mean, I had Joe Milton. Remember?
Yeah. Even the coach came out and said that he outplayed Jacoby Brissett, but he still decided to start Jacoby Brissett. I'm gonna go. Even though if it was at 9.5, I would lean 9.5. At 8.5,
the line's tricky. Even though it's very generous, it's like super tricky to understand it.
100%. So I'm gonna stay away from the side total. I could see it going under, just an ugly type of game. The Patriots would make it, but I'm gonna go Hunter Henry under 14.5 longest reception. He's been under this in 10 of his last 14 games dating back to last season. And, he really doesn't go long. I don't trust Jacoby Brissett. Yeah, he throws the deep ball really well, but not to Hunter Henry as well. New offensive line. I think it's going to be a tough year offensively for them. So, and they got KJ Osborne as well, Douglas in year 2. So they got other options for Jacoby Brissett. So, yeah, Hunter Henry under 14.5 longest reception for me. Let's go on over to the Indianapolis Colts. They are hosting the Houston Texans. Texans road favorites minus 2.5, minus 152 on the money line, plus 2.5 for the Colts, plus 128 on the money line. Over unders at 48.5. Joe, big year for Anthony Richardson. He is coming back off of that injury, but he's going against CJ Stroud, and they are loading up. They go all in. They get Stephon Diggs in the offseason. They go and get Joe Mixon as well. They're going all in with CJ Stroud and his rookie contract. How are you seeing this game?
Oh, man, I actually love this game. I think this is going to be one of the more entertaining afternoon games. And, man, I'm seeing a shootout here between the two quarterbacks. I mean, Anthony Richardson can light it up, and I hope he doesn't have him on fantasy. So I got the over, man. I saw one at 48.5, minus 115. I got a couple of the minus 115s, but, I mean, I think it's worth it. I see both these teams going back and forth. We see defensive improvements on both ends, and some studs there as well, especially with Leonard for the Colts. So, yeah. I mean, he's still there. He can lock down some things, but maybe it's not enough over the top. And I just think that these quarterbacks have the threat of the legs. They have checkdowns. Dalton Schultz on the Houston side. I mean, man, I do like the Colts. I think they're a sneaky team as well. So give me the over. Like I said, 48.5. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, 48.5. I do like it. I see 48s out there, so shop around. Now, I feel like a lot of people, like to Joe's point, are high on the Colts this season, Elvis. What are you taking here? I see plus 3s out there. I see minus 2.5s. What are we doing?
I am one of the people that are high on the Colts, but give me Houston on the money line. I caught it early on, minus 122, minus 148. I don't know if I'll stay.
It's getting up there. Would you still take it?
I'll lay the 2.5. I definitely think they'll win by field goal plus. I think Houston right now is just a better team. They're going all in. In my opinion, they're Super Bowl contenders the way they're constructed right now. If CJ, he don't have to play better than he did last year. If he could just replicate what he did last year, they're Super Bowl contenders. So give me Houston on the money line and give me Jonathan Taylor over 72 rushing yards. I'm minus 115.
Sophomore slump who?
Exactly. I love it. I have no play in this game. I kind of, like Joe said, I thought it was so good. I just kind of wanted to sit there and just enjoy it because I do think it could be a back and forth game. I lean over, but not really going to touch this game. Let's go on over to the next game in the Meadowlands. The New York Giants hosting the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings short favorites with Sam Darnold returning home, minus 124 on the money line, plus 106 for the G-Man. Over-unders at 41.5. Elvis, I know you have Malik Nabers in a few of your leagues. What are you expecting from the rookie? And can Daniel Jones get a big victory here in week 1?
I think so, Dill. I think so. Give me the New York Giants plus 108 on the money line, Dill.
Wow.
Don't get me wrong. I got faith in Sammy D. I don't love the Vikings. I don't love either team. But I think the Giants are just gonna walk out at MetLife with a victory and possibly start the season 1-0. I'm gonna put my money on it, though. And then with Malik Neighbors, I think the kid is gonna be special. Realistically, I think they got a steal. It was definitely the right choice getting him 6 overall instead of getting a quarterback. I know it was a lot of people saying they're gonna go quarterback in the first round. I said no, they gotta get Malik Neighbors. I think he's gonna be special as a rookie in his first career game. His over under is at 63.5. Though. I'm gonna go over 63.5. I think the kid's gonna be special. I think the kid's gonna be a stud, and I think he's live for offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Darnold, road favorite. What could go wrong, Joe? What do you like here?
Yeah, I'm with Elvis. I think for the first time tonight, I got the Giants on the money line, even money. But
dog of the day.
Yeah, dog of the day, man. At MetLife, man, it's gonna be rowdy over there, I expect. And
a lot of delusional Giant fans. It's gonna be a zoo in there.
Yeah, it's gonna, especially after they win week 1. So yeah, Malik Neighbors. When is the last time? To Elvis's point, when is the last time LSU had a bad receiver come out the draft, and especially drafted that high? Yeah, I think Malik Neighbors actually will be a surprise to a lot of people. And Sam Darnold is like back and forth in his career as opposed to Daniel Jones, who is and has been, the starting quarterback for the New York Giants since he started. Though it's been questionable, he's been locked in that position. And I think opening the home opener, I think they could win this. And I like the dog.
I'm gonna just say the quarterbacks are a push, and I think the Giants' defense is just a little better. I'm gonna say quarterbacks are a push.
I like that.
No play on the side. I am rooting for Sam Darnold. I hope they blow him out. My play here is I'm going to take Daniel Jones. I'm actually going to back the quarterback of the New York Giants. Give me over 20.5 pass completions. Behind I think we could all agree, a questionable offensive line. They don't have a run game. We could all agree Saquon is better than Singletary, who they got. An ACL injury he's coming off of. I'm expecting Brian Daboll to kind of call a short game pass get the ball out quick to Malik Neighbors. You have Wan'Dale Robinson as well. A lot of checkdowns to the tight end, running back Singletary. So I expect very quick throws, over 20.5. And he's hit this in the last 4 of his last 5 games that he played. So I think we're going to see a lot of quick passes from Daniel Jones. And I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if they won that game.
It's a winnable game.
Yeah, it is a winnable game. Let's go over to the Saints, the New Orleans Saints. Dennis Allen, is he the worst coach in the league? He might be. No, he might be. Head coach. I mean, you can't trust a guy with 2 first names. Off the rip. I mean, Dennis Allen. I guarantee you, if you ask drunk people down in the Bayou who's the head coach, some people would still say Sean Payton. I guarantee.
Drunk people, yeah.
Some people would say it. Saints laying 3.5 at home, minus 200. Carolina plus 3.5, plus 168, over under 41.5. Dave Canales, they bring in a new guy, offensive coordinator from Tampa Bay, Joe, to kind of learn and kind of build Bryce Young and get him better. How are you seeing this game? I know a lot of people are on Panthers.
It's surprising, right? I actually don't expect a lot from this game, to be honest with you. We got questions, both quarterbacks for both teams. We got question marks on defense for both teams, and you just made like the first opening point was making fun of the head coach for the Saints. So, I mean, I don't know if he's the worst one. I mean, I hate to say this, even though I think the team could be competent, and we have questions for them, and not to bring them up, we talk about them later. But Mark McCarthy, I think he's the worst coach. But okay, let's go back to the Saints versus the Panthers. Yeah, alternate total under 37.5 at plus 150. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a lot of points. Like I said, I'm hard on this game. I think you're right. To every point you made, I think this is a lackluster affair. I don't know. The AFC South is now where it's at as compared to the NFC South was a little bit back in the day. But yeah, the NFC South is looking very rough. So, I mean, that's why the Falcons can win that division. And we have yet to see what happens.
Elvis, I think a lot of people worry about the Saints is that defense. A lot of them are getting old. Demario Davis, back end of his career. Jordan Cameron, back end of his career. Honey Badger, back end of his career. Are you worried? And maybe not about this game, but against better teams, you worry about that defense? Because I kind of do. I kind of like the Panthers plus the points. Try to talk me off of this.
I tell you what, though, that defense is definitely going to be the better defense on the field. I tell you that. I'm gonna go with the Saints still. I don't know if I'm a lay the 4, I'll lean that way, 3.5, whatever you could get it at. Don't get me wrong, I do expect Carolina to be better overall of the team. I expect Bryce Young to at least play better this year than he did.
Mm-hmm.
He has such a, let's just say, disappointing rookie season. I don't love the Saints, but I do think the Saints for week 1 is the better team. I just wouldn't lay the 4. I'll lean the -3.5, -4, but my official play for the game will be Alvin Kamara over 29.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I almost got to the window with Carolina. I really did. I really wanted to
Don't
take
do
them
it.
so bad. No, I'm not. I'm going to take
They-
DeAndre Johnson over 48.5 receiving yards. I mean, the line is moving, but, he's coming off a quiet year, but he was on a dominant run-heavy Pittsburgh Steelers team. Now traded to the Carolina Panthers. You bring in Dave Canales, who he's raved about him in the offseason. He's going to be the number one. Bryce Young has to get him the ball. So 48.5 receiving yards. I think he's fast. I think he could really get it. It's actually moving the other way. It's at 46.5. I got a bad number, but I still thought it was low. Yeah, line's moving the opposite way, but I still like DeAndre Johnson. I think he could have a big game against that secondary. Let's go on up to Orchard Park. Buffalo Bills are hosting the Arizona Cardinals. Josh Allen and the Bills laying 6.5, -290 on the money line. +6.5 for the Cardinals, +235. Over under is at 47.5. Joe, me and Elvis just did our futures for the Arizona Cardinals. I think we're a little high on them. Kyler coming back. They get Marvin Harrison Jr. out of the Ohio State. Trey McBride, tight end. A lot of people like him. James Conner, solid. Like, they're gonna score points, I think. How do you like this game?
Yeah, score points late, garbage time. I think they're going to probably get dominated. I don't know. The Bills have to prove a lot themselves, don't they, in this spot? So, I mean, to open up this season, to move on from Stephon Diggs, I got to see that the Bills would actually, favor in this matchup. Marvin Harrison, though, for me, I think he's going to get a touchdown. But when is he going to get a touchdown? To my point, in garbage time. I think he'll be the last person to score a touchdown. Marvin Harrison Jr. at plus 1,100. And I do also like have here the over. I think what it's going to happen, and like I said, I think the Bills could pull ahead, maybe, get to like 30s, maybe 31, 34. And then, here comes the Cardinals late after only scoring 14 until the fourth quarter. Late in the fourth quarter, they score maybe another 2 touchdowns and make it 31-28. And you're like, oh, this was a game when it really wasn't. So that's what I see in that one.
Now, Elvis, they lose Matt Milano for the first half of the season. Another big injury to that defense. My worry, kind of like Mike McDaniel as well in Miami, if Buffalo doesn't start winning in, the playoffs, the seat has to get hot. We were talking about firing Sean McDermott last season.
Yeah, I think he saved his job last year, definitely with that, that last 5-6 week stretch of the season where the Bills look honestly one of the best teams in football. The defense was flying high, offensively Josh Allen was playing like an MVP. Give them credit, they pulled it off, especially the last few weeks of the season. I agree with you, Dale. If he don't at least make it to, I feel like it's a little tough, but to at least the AFC Championship game, it might be the last season we see Sean McDermott as the Bill head coach. I understand that's high, that's a high, axe, but how many more times you're gonna give him until, I feel like the Bills should have been at least had a Super Bowl appearance by now with Josh Allen and this team they had recently. They kind of blew it up, especially on the defensive side, let a lot of players go. But I think the Bills will be all right. Like you said, Dill, I am high on the Cardinals. You are as well. That's why I'm going to play it safe, Dill. I'm going to tease down the Buffalo Bills. So basically a pick 'em. If you get the 6.5, you take them down to -0.5 point. And I got them involved in a two-way teaser. I'll mention the other team when we get there.
I love it. Joe, you mentioned Marvin Harrison Jr., number 3, number 4 pick out of the draft this season. I'm going to take him. I'm going to take a rookie. He's on one of my fantasy leagues, over 51.5 receiving yards, no pressure. It's a massive risk, I know, taking a rookie, but I think it's worth it. I think he gets 75 to 80 yards. He's definitely going to be the number one guy they have. Kind of like a DeAndre Hopkins when he was in Arizona. Kind of just throw him the ball, and he's going to get it. I think he has a favorable matchup, too. I know it's a hostile environment going up to Orchard Park, but old secondary, I think he could have his way, the new kid. So I'm going to take Marvin Harrison Jr. over 51.5, receiving yards. All right, we entered the 4 o'clock slate. Let's go on over to LA. The Chargers are hosting the Las Vegas, Raiders. Chargers laying 3, minus 168 on the money line, plus 142 for the Raiders. Over under is at 40. Joe, they bring in Joe Alt, get Jim Harbaugh. They're really going to run the ball. They trade away Keenan Allen. They trade away Mike Williams. What are you expecting from this team? Are they kind of going to bring like what Michigan did? Very tough, physical team, run the ball down your throat. And how are you seeing this game?
And they're in their new stadium, right?
Yep.
Wow, yeah. There's a lot going with their new head coach. I mean, the Harbaughs are back in the NFL. Jim Harbaugh, I like the Chargers here. I had like them so much I had to alternate spread change it. So we got alternate spread Chargers and minus 4.5 at plus 115. And historically, they average about a 4 to 5 to 6 point win. And I like the latter. I like the 5 to 6 point win here. Yeah, like I said, minus 4.5 for these Chargers at plus 115. Give me the plus money. I like him in this spot. I could run the ball. We're going to see Justin Herbert. If he's actually who he says he is, he has a lot to prove along with the coach. They're investing in him. They're believing in him. Let's go. Let's see if they get it done. The Raiders don't have much, I don't think. I think they're struggle this year.
Now, Elvis, on the contrary, you're higher than most on the Raiders. You're bought into the defense. I don't know offensively. I agree to your point. I think their defense will keep them in some games, but when they're facing offenses, maybe not the Chargers here in week 1, but against high-level offenses, I think they will struggle. How do you like this team?
I like this team a lot, Dill. Don't get me wrong. I think the Chargers are going to be all right. I'm not a high on the Chargers. I feel like the first season as Jim Harbaugh is the head coach, I feel like it's not going to be as well as everybody anticipates, in my opinion. I feel like they got to build something there. I think Justin Herbert is definitely the right guy. I just don't feel like he has the right pieces around him at this moment. I love Antonio Pierce. I love the defense the Raiders have. Dill, I know you'll disagree. I know, Joey, you disagree. But I think the Raiders are live. Give me the Raiders plus 3. Heavy lean. I'm not taking it officially. I might come Sunday. But as of right now, loving the plus 3 with the Raiders. I think they have a chance to pull off the upset. I love the under. I took the under 43.5 early. The number went down 3. It's at 40.5. I still like it at 40.5.
It's a 1 o'clock game, right, E?
No, 4 or 5.
Yeah, but it's out west, no?
Yeah, 1 o'clock game out west. So you're absolutely right about that. I feel like it's going to be like 17 or 14 game. Like real under. Maybe even 16, 13. Let it get nasty. But
30.
I lean the Raiders, but my official play is the under.
Hell yeah.
Dylan, you're muted, by the way.
Yo.
Oh, my fault. I was over there talking. I love the under. I love the under as well. I think it could be a 17-14, 13-10 type of game. I think they're really going to run the ball on both sides, especially with Zamir White. I love his over 45.5 rushing yards. I like it up to like around 55, 60. He's been over this last 4 of starts of the season. And I think they should take advantage of the trenches, because I think that's where the Raiders are better than the Chargers. Is it up front in the trenches? I don't really trust the offense. I like Ladd McCourty of the Chargers, but outside of that, Herbert coming off that foot injury, weak supporting cast. I really don't know. I think they're going to be good. I do believe in Jim Harbaugh, but I think he's a year or 2 away. He's a winner wherever he goes, whether you like him or not. I do think he'll get the program ready, but I like Zamir White over 51.5 rushing yards. Let's get on over to Joe. Let's go to Seattle. Seattle Seahawks hosting the Denver Broncos. Seattle minus 5.5 at home, minus 260 on the money line, plus 5.5 for the Bo Nix Broncos, plus 215 on the money line. Over unders at 41.5. First time as a rookie quarterback. Team captain since who? Bo Nix, since who?
Peyton Manning.
John Elway.
John Elway. Wow.
John Elway. What do you got here? Do you believe in the kid from Oregon?
I'm a little bullish on him. I do think he's going to be accurate. I just wonder if he could have the power to, get behind his passes, to throw downfield. So That's all it is. And I think, what is still Cortland Sutton in his wide receiver core, right? They lost Jerry Judy, right?
Mhm.
Do they have Noah Fant still at the tight end position?
Mhm.
So they have some skill position guys. The offensive line is gonna have to hold up and protect him for sure. But he could pull it down. I just think he's also a little small. And like I said, that's gonna come into the power factor. But man, going all the way to the 12th man in your first game. If it was in Denver, Mile High, I think I would have taken the points with the Broncos. You got to like the coach, investing in an accurate quarter, kind of like what happened to Drew Brees. And if you get a Drew Brees back with Sean Payton again, I mean, that's the only thing you see potentially with Bo Nix. But because they're in the 12th man, because the Seahawks seem to always just have, always be intelligent, right? Always be, aware of their surrounding. I'm trying to find the word that describes them. Yeah, they're always right in the thick of things. These Seahawks, they're feisty. They find a way to be competitive always. Pete Carroll is not the head coach any longer, but he's still in the office as opposed to like Bill Belichick, who's gone now, right? He stepped out of the Patriots entirely.
Yeah.
Right. So having that influence there, I think could lead the program straight. But, I'm not picking a side. I just had to talk about both teams. I'm going under here at 41.5. I guess people are expecting a high scoring game, and a lot of people like the Broncos, but it might be a tough defensive game. So yeah, under 41.5 at -110.
Now, coming off a really good year, Geno Smith, and I agree with you. I think they're an above average. They always kind of stay relevant, the Seattle Seahawks. I like their defense. What do you expect from this team? Because a lot of the money is coming in on Denver.
Still, realistically, I like Seattle. Don't get me wrong. I do think they're the better team. I just don't trust them enough to lay the 6. I'll lean. I also, you know what? I might take it official, but I'll lean the under 41.5 just because they're playing at the 12 man. I don't expect Bo Nix to go in there and let's just say light it up. I don't expect the Seahawks offense to either light it up on that Denver defense either. So I'm gonna go with the under. Honestly, I'm gonna take that official. Give me the under 41.5. I feel like Bo Nix is just gonna struggle a little bit. I think this is one of the toughest debuts on week 1 schedule. Going as a rookie, going into the 12th man in Seattle. Talk about tough as a first career game. I feel like he's just going to struggle just a tad. And I don't expect Seattle's offense to do much either on that defense. So I think under 41.5 is the way to go.
Right now, the Ravens are moving the ball. They're around midfield with 46 seconds left. They have no timeouts. They just got a first down to Likely stop the clock with 43 seconds.
Likely's having a game, by the way.
I couldn't disagree more with both of you. I actually love the over. I think there could be a lot of points here with Bo Nix. I think just the way he lit it up, and yet say what you want, it is preseason, but what he was able to do, he diced every team he saw. And granted, they weren't starters, but I still think he's the real deal. I think he's legit. I believe in the run game as well. I think Seattle could put up points as well with the talent they have on offense. So I can see a 20 to 27 type of game, a 20-24 type of game as well.
Pat Surtain shutting down DK.
Just got that payday. Wow. They just completed a 50-yard pass down to Bateman down at the 10-yard line with 30 seconds left in the game. They are down 7 to Ravens and threatening.
Yeah, and now in the second on that following play, Lamar throw it back in the end zone. Isaiah Likely looks like he got hurt on an incompletion. Down in some pain, looking like he's grabbing around his ribs, chest area.
Oh, no. And then Mark Andrews is there, right? He's recovered from last injury.
Yeah,
but
he has like 2 receptions, about 20-something
But
yards.
Likely was like their next guy up.
Yeah, he just, I think he possibly fell on his wrist too. He jumped for the ball and got basically just.
You're ahead of me, so don't spoil anything, please.
No more.
Yeah. Yeah. Might be a wrist injury. 3
plays left. Let's go to prime time. Tom Brady in the booth. Cleveland Browns hosting the Dallas Cowboys. Browns laying 2.5 at home, -136 on the money line, +118 for the boys. Elvis, there are happy people in Dallas right now. CD got his contract. Dak should be getting his very soon. What are we seeing here? Can they go and upset? Because I'm very high on the Browns.
First of all, how about the Cowboys? Dill, I know I just said that. Give me the Browns on the money. I caught it early.
Wow.
Don't get me wrong. I like Dallas. They're coming off 3 straight 12-5 seasons and done nothing in the playoffs. I think it's about the same, just without the 12 wins, and they'll continue to do nothing in the playoffs. This year, I'm a little higher on the Browns still. I think the Browns, with another year under Deshaun's belt, I understand he did not look good. He did not look good last season, but we saw glimpses still. And I think this year we're going to see more of those glimpses still. Give me Cleveland, minus 104 on the money line. I think they're going to return. I'm going to say top 3, definitely a top 5 defense. Offensively, that's the question mark. Can Deshaun return? Not to the MVP stage, but just to the Houston stage, you know? Wow, he just missed a touchdown. Sorry,
Elvis.
I got distracted. But give me Cleveland on the money line, minus 104, and give me CeeDee Lamb over 84.5 receiving yards. He just got his huge contract. I think he balls out over 100 yards.
Now, Joe, the big question mark for this Browns team is Deshaun Watson. I agree with Elvis. We saw glimpses of him being good, but then he got hurt again. They're only a quarterback away. If he could get back to that MVP, oh my God. If he got back to his MVP category, what do you see from this Browns team? I love the under. I'll get my play right out
I
of
think
the
the
way.
battle of the defenses, man, definitely. But, glimpse of explosions. Amari Cooper, for some reason, always goes off in like week 1, week 2 of the season. If you look historically, bro, watch Amari Cooper go off because they don't have a run game. And that's why I'm going with the boys. Like, how about them Cowboys? Just like Elvis said,
Oh
money
my
line
God.
at plus 120.
Isaiah likely just ties it with 0 time remaining. Well, touchdown. They're going for 2. John is going for 2.
Elvis, you're a little ahead of me. Come on.
I don't give a fuck. That's a you problem. That's a you problem, dude. John Harbaugh's going for 2. He's going for the upset week 1 in Kansas City. The balls are hanging. I love the call. I want to see the call.
I love the call. I fucking love the call.
People.
This is one of the funniest shit I've ever.
What a catch! What a catch!
I got the boys
count
money line at plus 120 because I think that the Browns are not going to get this shit together. These Browns are not going to get shit together until week 4 when Nick Chubb returns. I think they need to establish a run game, and that's going to lead them to success so they control the clock and have their defense lead the way. But with the battle of defenses the Cowboys can match, I do think they'll have a little more offensive firepower and be able to run the ball, even though they got Zeke back. But, if Zeke can eat, let's see what's up. So give me the Cowboys money line at plus 120.
Yeah, I'm taking the under as well. And player prop for me, I like Jake Ferguson. Tight end for the Dallas Cowboys, over 3.5 receptions. Tough matchup, obviously. Cleveland, number 2 against the tight ends. But, he's been over this line 13 of 18 games last season, including 7 of 7 to finish the season. Running game, probably going to take a hit. No Pollard for them. Yeah, you bring back Zeke, but, it's not that. I'm going to take him over 3.5 receptions at minus 128, and the Chiefs wind up winning the game with the toe being out. They hold on for a thriller, 27-20. The Chiefs win, cover, and the game goes over. Yep, Chiefs, Patty Mahomes, and there it is. That is the story ending. Penultimate game. Washington Commanders on the road taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucks laying 3.5 at home, minus 176, plus 148 for Washington. Over under is at 42.5. Joe, Jaden Daniels, number 2 over pick overall from LSU, kind of resurrected his career coming from Arizona State, going to LSU, really developed as a quarterback. What can he bring to this Washington? Kind of set the culture here.
Man, I wanted to get Scary Terry because I do expect some explosive plays. I do expect some good connections with him. And, man, I'd be surprised to see people fade them in the spot, but I'm one of those people because even though they can play well on the road, I think they could compete with some of the weapons that they have. I just think that the Bucks at home open it up. I don't know why. I feel like it's a safe bet. And I took them at minus 3.5 at plus 100. Baker Mayfield connecting with a lot of receivers. What do we got? Godwin, still Mike Evans, and I think Rashad White right in the backfield can actually do something, and he'll sneak up for people in the fantasy aspect as well. So don't be surprised by the Bucks here at home. They could open up the season, and I mentioned the Falcons being able to compete in the NFC South. This is another team I think the Bucks can compete for the division.
Yeah, Joe, I do agree with that. I think the Bucks do have a shot in the AFC South, depending on how the Falcons look and all that. But I definitely think the Falcons definitely should be the favorite. Still, this is another one. I just ended up playing it safe. Don't get me wrong. I do. Let's just say I'm a little high on the Commanders. I think Jaden Daniels definitely was the right pick, second overall. I think bringing in Dan Quinn is gonna definitely force some turnovers with that defense. That's possibly gonna keep them in some games still. I like Baker. I like the fact that I was able to give him a contract, give Mike Evans another extension. I like the core they're building there. I'm gonna just play it safe still. I'm gonna tease. That's my other two-way teaser. That's it. I'm gonna take Tampa, tease them all the way the other way to plus 2.5, just to play it safe. Don't get me wrong. I do think they're the better team, but hey, man, Jaden Daniels, he could be special. I like what I saw in the preseason a little bit, and like I said, Dan Quinn and that defense might be able to force some turnovers. I'm gonna just play it safe. I'm gonna tease Tampa up to plus 2.5, and then the Buffalo Bills basically to a pick 'em. So that's my two-way teaser.
All right, let's get to the last game. Yeah, nothing for me in this game. I kind of just wanted to watch it and enjoy. I really didn't feel it. I'm rooting for the Commanders. I hope they do win, but wouldn't surprise me if the Bucks come out there and lay the hammer on them. Let's go to Sunday Night Football in Detroit. The Lions are hosting the Los Angeles Rams, rematch of the playoff game of last season. Jared Goff laying 4.5 against his old team, minus 215 on the money line, plus 180, plus 4.5 for the Rams. Over unders at 52.5. Elvis, I told you this is my sleeper in the NFC. I got them going all the way to the NFC Championship. I believe in Matthew Stafford. You believe in him here, week one?
I definitely like the plus 4.5 though. I'm not there officially yet, but I'm leaning that way. I do expect some regression from the Lions. Like I said, they played great in high levels last season. I still think they'll be a playoff team. I still think they're live for the division. But what they were able to do last year, I just feel like it's gonna be very hard to duplicate. With Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, that rushing attack is gonna be great. That offensive line, one of the best offensive line in football. But can Jared Goff play at the level he played last season? Can he? Can that wide receiver core stay as healthy as it did last season? Can it? Those are my things. I don't know if the Rams are live though, but I definitely like the plus 4.5.
Joe, what are you expecting from this Rams team? Tough loss in the playoffs to this Lions team. What are we expecting here in game one?
I got the Rams money line at plus 155. Ooh. Yeah, I think you're right. I do expect a little bit more out of the Rams this season. Right, Aaron Donald, he's still there, right?
Nope.
He's retired fully? Man, you know what? I'm still taking the Rams. Matthew Stafford, I'm hoping big things out of Cooper Kupp being healthy. Puka Nacua had a little thing, but, he should still be ready for week one Sunday. And the Rams, it's just like always high scoring. High scoring affair with the Lions. It's always high scoring affairs with the Lions. We think that, the defense would have been as, more competitive, biting kneecaps, stuff like that. But we see high scoring games with them because the offense is so high powered. And, I think that's something that could be favored. I think scoring a lot from both sides could maybe be the case, over it, but not touching that. I'm just going to go with the Rams on the road. Nice dog spot here. Yeah, plus 155. Give me him.
I lean the Lions here at home. I do think they come out aggressive. I think they're going to be coming out for blood. That fourth down call, going for it, cost them a chance to go to the Super Bowl. I think a lot of people are really harping on that. Give me David Montgomery over 11.5 rushing attempts. I know Jahmyr Gibbs, he's a threat out of the backfield as well, but, he is coming off that hamstring injury. This is a line he's covered in 13 of 16 games last season as well. And, I really don't see the Lions really shifting their mentality. They're still going to run the ball. Rams, they ranked 20th in the league against the run last year. Not just that they lose Aaron Donald, they lost Ernest Jones as well. I think they're going to struggle against the run. So David Montgomery over 11.5 rushing attempts. Guys, before we go, I want to get a lock, a dog, and then we can make our own teaser. We'll tease it up. But Elvis, I will start with you. What is your lock of the week? And I need a dog.
Lock of the week. Lock of the week. What's my favorite play of the week, Dill? Realistically, I love Christian Watson over 38.5 receiving yards just because I feel like he could get in one catch. I love that play, but I'm going to say the lock of the weekend, Dill. You're not going to love it. Give me Pittsburgh plus 3.5.
Oh, my God.
Lock of the weekend. And the dog of the weekend is the Giants, the G-Men.
Wow. Your dog is the Giants. All right, Joe, lock and dog. What do you got?
I think that was I mean, I had the Rams as a bigger dog. The Cowboys was a dog, both bigger than the Giants, which was even money. But I guess you could choose any of those three. Is that fair? But how about my lock? I got one. It's a player prop. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Anthony Richardson, anytime touchdown, plus 600. I think it
Wow.
might be free money, man. I do just going to score a touchdown somehow. And I mean, I know it don't count over the air, but I think he's going to get it on the field somehow, some way. He's too big, too good. It's like an evolution of like Cam Newton finding the end zone. I mean, I love it. I love that prop. I really do. I expected a high scoring affair. He's going to find the end zone, like I said, somehow. So maybe the under in like the Seahawks Broncos game, one of the team total unders. I expect, like I said, a low scoring affair as another thing. But the Anthony Richardson touchdown anytime. I love that.
My lock is going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. over 51.5 receiving yards. I think he's going to torch the Buffalo Bills here in week 1 in a favorable matchup. My dog of the day. Oh, you guys are going to hate it. Give me the Panthers outright against Dennis Allen and the Saints. I mean, you can't trust the guy with 2 first names. Plus 168. Give me the Carolina Panthers going down in the Bayou and upsetting the Saints. Now I want to create a teaser for everyone. Elvis, what is a good teaser I guess spot for you? You like teasing the Bengals down to 2.5?
Nah, to me, the perfect game to tease, like I said, is the Bills, in my opinion.
Okay, get them down. So that'll be one. Okay, that's a good one. Joe, what is the game that you like to tease?
Like getting the points down or up?
Down, up, whatever you're feeling it. We all have to agree. I want to make like a little dream wager teaser, 3-legger.
I mean, honestly, looking at the board, maybe the Seahawks are giving a lot. Maybe squeeze that down a little bit.
Pick them, baby. Bills pick them. Seahawks pick them. End it off, Bill.
Okay, and then me. What am I going to do? Do I want to get freaky and tease through 0?
You tease Carolina to 10.
I know you're not going to talk about it because you got another show, but
No. I'll do it. Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you, Elvis. I am going to tease Carolina to plus 9.5. We will tease Seahawks to plus 0.5. They just got to win. And Buffalo to 0.5. They just have to win. It's a 3-way 6-point teaser plus 140. Boys, I fucking love it. That sounds like free money. If you
free
ask
money,
me.
I love to hear
it. As your dog of the day, I love it. I love the energy. I don't love the pick, but I don't hate it.
There's not a lot of dogs that I felt value
it's
in.
Not. That's why I said the Giants are my dogs. I feel like out of all dogs at home, that's a very winnable game.
Yeah, 100%. And the line dictates that.
How many games total? I got 4 out of dogs. I mean, I had the Ravens tonight, if you count that.
Yeah, that too. I do have Packers tomorrow, but that's Friday. You could have teased them up to 8.5. I kind of like Tennessee, but then I think Chicago's good. Those were like the only really dogs I liked. Carolina I liked.
Yeah, if you could tease Tennessee to 9.5, I feel like
that's
for Chicago to win by 10.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's another one. If you don't like Carolina, maybe Tennessee. That's a good call. But boys, that's gonna do it. College football. Anybody got plays for college football tomorrow? We got the Michigan Wolverines and Texas Longhorns. That's gonna be a hell of a game.
I can't believe you just said that. I've never thought you would say that. I thought you would say the team up north.
I know. It slips sometimes.
Real quick, I'm gonna take Georgia Tech -3, laying it at Syracuse, and then to me, one of the biggest games of the weekend. I'm gonna take Colorado plus 7.5 against Nebraska. Don't get me wrong. I do think Nebraska gets it done, but I think Prime and company at least lose by a touchdown.
Yeah, love it. I am going to take Colorado as well, plus the 7. Appalachian State. I'm going to take them plus 19 against Clemson. Give me Boise State plus 24. Lean Bama minus the 30. South Florida fucking sucks. Lean Utah minus 14 against Baylor, and I love Georgia Tech. I got it at plus 2.5. I would even lean the minus 2.5. I can't believe they opened up as the underdog, so I love that play. Joe, any opinion on college football?
I didn't really look into it. I'm just trying to recall what I remember seeing. Maybe like local. I could be a homer. Like who's close to playing? Like William and Mary. Maybe they'll cover the points. Just they beat a Rich Rodriguez team last week.
Yeah. Can't believe they won.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Prime. I'm a big Coach Prime fan. I like getting the points with them. They can get competitive, even though people don't understand. North Dakota State isn't a bad team. They're the best. Yeah. They've been the best FCS team for the past decade plus. So they're always going to be competitive, and it just seems rocky for the starts of the Colorado season. So I mean, if they get a loss here, it could. We hear inklings of Coach Prime going to FSU. So maybe we'll see if Colorado doesn't get it together with the talent they have here, especially after his son graduates. He's not following the NFL. Yeah. Shedeur will go to the NFL. Travis Hunter will go to NFL, and Coach Prime may go to his alma mater.
I love it. Any baseball plays? I'll rattle off the 4 or 5 plays I have real quick for you.
Let me just start it off and then you finish it off. Tampa Bay at Baltimore. I'm gonna just take the Baltimore Orioles money line minus 130. I've been, like I said, I haven't been a fan of Tampa for a while, and Baltimore's just been a powerhouse. They haven't been losing. Give them all the credit, and I think they're gonna be honestly live for the division to see how these last 20-ish games go. But give me Baltimore on the money line as my last play of the day.
Yeah, I love the Cubs tomorrow. Upset the Yankees. They actually haven't been playing well. Love the Orioles for my future ticket. Love the Cubs money line as a home puppy plus 123. Brewers minus 1.5. Gotta take the Amazins minus 1.5 as well. We are fucking red hot right now. Sean Manaea, he's gonna go get paid. But yeah, love them. Love the Astros as well. So a few plays on the way.
I was gonna say, you want the wild card teams to lose, like the Diamondbacks and the Philly. The Braves. The Braves. You want the Phillies to beat the Braves, and then you want the Mets to win. Yeah, and we're gonna make the playoffs. Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go, Joe. Thank you so much. Where can people find you? Where can people find your plays?
What's you know where to find me at 10 seconds left. The number 10, 10 seconds spelt out left _. You could find me at that IG, X, Twitter, however. And, I'll see you tomorrow, my boy. And Elvis, it's been an honor. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you, Joey.
Thank you, boys. Good luck. God bless. And we'll see you on Monday. Peace.